for another 5-minute murder. This time we'll actually have it on Friday, which is kind of nice. And so you guys won't get this on Monday. So we'll have this posted up tomorrow morning and ready to go. So I'm going to pick a card and we will get started. All right. Somebody that I can pronounce. All right. There you go. You got old Peter Kurten, the vampire of Dusseldorf. So Peter Kurten was born on May 26, 1883. He died on July 2nd, 1931. He was a German serial killer that committed a series of murders and sexual assaults. He was found guilty of 9 counts of murder and 7 counts of attempted murder, for which he was sentenced to death by beheading in April 1931. He became known as the Vampire of Dusseldorf because he occasionally made attempts to drink the blood from his victims' wounds. At the guillotine, he said, "Tell me, after my head is chopped off, will I still be able to hear, at least for a moment, the sound of my own blood gushing from the stump of my neck? That would be the pleasure to end all pleasures." And so that is quite the quote from an obvious sadist, right? And crazy, crazy guy. You know, he was, Peter Kurten liked to, go and bite the neck of some of his victims, and he would then drink their blood. There are also several of his victims that he almost literally tore their throat out, right? That was kind of his MO. And so for his first murder, he would pick up an 18-year-old girl and persuaded her to accompany him. He says that he had sex with her before strangling her and then leaving the scene, where he thought she was dead, but she was not. So he thinks that he killed her, but she may not have died. They don't know. It's interesting because Kurten is believed to have killed 9, maybe more people. Let's see, 9 plus. They confirmed at least 9 of them. But they believe that he also attempted to murder 31 plus people. So Peter Kurten had been doing it for a long time, from 1913 to 1929 is the span of his crimes. So, 16 years he was out there doing this. Of course, this is in a time where, forensics and everything is much, much different than it is now. So they didn't have quite the way to go and catch these people. But yeah, Peter Kurten is out there trying to kill women and trying to abduct them, trying to rip their throats out. And, he's just, it's a crazy, crazy case. One of those cases that is way, way back there. And, he liked to apparently use scissors in a lot of his crimes. So there are actually a pair of scissors that they have. I don't know where they're at now. I don't know if they're like in a museum somewhere or anything, but I see pictures of them. So there are these scissors that he would use during his crimes to open people up, And then he would also use a hammer. So apparently several of his crimes, he would strike them with a hammer and beat them into unconsciousness and then do what he wanted with them. So Peter Kurten, crazy, crazy guy. Of course, after he's beheaded, this is a crazy story. I read you the quote about what he said as his final words. But after he was beheaded, his head was taken and used for science. I guess they were trying to figure out, what makes a killer like that tick. And they actually bisect his head and mummify it. That head is currently sitting in Ripley's, believe it or not, in Wisconsin Dells. And they have it on display. Apparently, when Ripley bought it, they just bought it as a medical like a medical display to show the inside of a bisected skull. Well, come to find out when they got the provenance for it, that it was actually a serial killer's head, and then they found out that it was actually Peter Kurten's head. So now they have it on display there in Wisconsin Dells as Peter Kurten's head. And I promise you, I'm going to go and visit Peter Kurten's head when I go later this year. Actually, it's the last show of the year for me. I will be in Minneapolis, and I have to go directly through Wisconsin Dells to get there. And you know that I'm stopping to go see Peter Kurten's head, spinning in a little refrigerator. So I'm excited to go see that. If you haven't seen the episode of Serial Killer Culture by John Borowski, they go and cover Peter Kurten's head in one of the episodes of that. Go check that shit out. I believe it is on Amazon Prime or Tubi or something. But they have it. Just search for True Serial Killer Culture TV and you'll find it. It's a great, great episode that will tell you all kinds of crazy stuff about old Peter Kurten. But yeah, so he ends up getting caught, obviously ends up confessing. So he freely admitted his guilt in everything, and confessed that he had committed at least 9 murders and 31 attempted murders, like I said. He made no attempt to excuse his crimes, but justified them on the basis of what he saw as injustices he endured through his life. So he was one of those guys that felt like women were against him, and he was righting the wrongs. And so just a crazy, crazy way to do it. But there are so many of them out there that have done that, you know, especially these ones that come from a long time ago. You know, our culture, thankfully, I mentioned this last week, has changed a good bit since then. And we don't have kind of the same thing, thankfully. You know, of course, now we have all kinds of other things and, you know, mass shootings because of any variety of reasons, which is no better than what they had back then with people just picking up women and killing them. You know, so, yeah, we live in a crazy world, and that keeps blinking in and out. I don't know why. I guess the sun outside is getting covered up by clouds. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us for another 5-Minute Murder. I'm Jeff, and I will see you next week. I am actually off. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you go to my Facebook page and like the author page. The book will be coming out in July. I haven't mentioned this a whole bunch, but Beyond the Headlines, True Crimes, Myths, and Legends will be hitting stores July 2nd. The pre-order is currently up. It is on Amazon, and you can pre-order the ebook, but all of the physical copies will release on the 2nd. So I think they're going to do a pre-order getting closer to the release. They'll do like a pre-order for that stuff. But it's coming. It's coming real soon. I am already working on Volume 2, Criminals, and so I started that about a week ago. And the introduction and the preface are all written. And I've started to do a little bit of research into the myths and legends around some of these different criminals. So that'll be released here, I guess, after this one is released. Hopefully we get a really good response. And if we get a great response for that, then we'll keep writing and we'll keep doing more. So I'm looking forward to all of that. I'm looking forward to you guys reading some of the stuff that I have. And I'm looking forward to all of that. So thank you, and I will see you soon.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my